Oh, hello, hello. How's it going?
Great. How are
Hey,
you guys?
I'll tell you one thing, technology. Well, good morning, Savannah and Georgia and America. We're back this Saturday with the Watchdogs and Julius. We're supposed to have three more people, but I'll talk about that in a moment. But Julius, I guess tell everybody good morning.
good morning, everybody. We are happy to have our uh, panel this morning. It seems like a panel of one for House District 165. Everybody was invited, but I guess
Yep,
Robert will talk about that in a minute.
yep.
We have one person that thought that they should show up, and that's Miss Sabrina Kent, and we're happy to have you this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Okay,
Yep.
I
well,
appreciate it.
good morning to everybody, and
Good morning. Good morning, Savannah. And thank God for my grandchildren and my sons who like to wake me up so early on Saturday morning.
Well, seems like some other folks need to get awakened, but maybe they're long clock. I won't go there. But to get started, you all, Julian said it. What our hope was today was to have a small debate with the candidates running for House District 165. But sometimes when we fail to understand how to use technology, or maybe our alarm clocks don't go off, or whatever that may be, constituents, you need to think about that when you go cast your ballot, because if these folk can't respond to these minor things, then that means they ain't gonna respond to your needs. So I'm not throwing no shots, but when I ran for a statewide office last year, I knew it was important to show up to important meetings, but that's just where I am with it. So let me
And
start with this.
every meeting should be important.
Well, I ain't throwing no shots, but learn how to use technology and get in the alarm clock or whatever. Maybe you need a scheduler. I don't know. But let's start with this. How do we contact these candidates? Because you won't come back to Julius not saying we didn't tell you, because you got the info and your team responded. So we reached out through Facebook Messenger and an email. Now, we could have easily called every candidate, but what one candidate got as far as communication, every candidate received as far as communication. We did not want to offer any special outreach to any candidate because we want to be a fair thing across the board. And so that's how we reached out to get candidates to be involved. And we have proof that we did it because one person here who said they would be here. So anyway, now our hope was to have a debate today, but that's fine. We'll have Sabrina Kent here to share with us about who she is, why she decided to run for the seat. And if the other candidates come on, we would more than welcome them. But I'll say it again. If you don't know how to access technology, then maybe you shouldn't be running for office. If you don't know how to if you don't know how to respond to meetings where you got to answer to the constituents, then you need to go ahead and just turn in your paperwork, pull your paperwork, and stop running for office. We just move this candidate forward. Some people may not like it. This is not an endorsement, but it is what it is. So Sabrina, if you would take the floor and tell us about who you are and why you want to represent 165.
I am Sabrina E. Green Kent. I am a mother to two sons. I am a grandmother to 6 grandchildren. Julius was shocked to find out that I was 62 years old. Yes, I am 62. I'm happy
I would have
to be
said
there.
32. I said 32.
yeah, 42.
I am happy
Hey,
to see that. I have 6 siblings, well, 5 siblings. I have 3 brothers, 2 sisters, and a host of nephews and nieces. I have about 15 nephews and about 2 nieces. I have worked for 42 years as a general manager in retail, traveling all around the world. I started in retail in 10th grade, managing my first store, graduated high school in 76, managing my second store, came out of high school making $9.50 an hour when minimum wage was only $3.15 an hour. Stayed in that for years, 42 years, and I got out of that, went to work as the business manager for Singular Wireless, stayed in that for 15 years, and then they bought AT&T and they merged together, did big layoffs, and had us make an ultimatum of either stay here or go to Atlanta. I wasn't going to leave here because my son was in high school. I wasn't going to break up that monopoly. So I stayed here until he finished high school. I went to work for the government when they did the cutbacks with Singular Wireless. I went to work for the government, stayed with the government for 10 years as their publications manager, working on nothing but computers. Loved it. Awesome job. And I now currently have my big pet peeve, my big baby that I love dearly. They're like my second family. Actually almost like my first family is the ILA. I'm their payroll specialist. I deal with them every Wednesday. I would not give it up for the world. I've been serving in my community out here in the Nottingham area for about 36 years now. Well, my baby boy is 30, so it's been about 32 years that I've been serving in the community. I volunteered in the high schools, the middle schools, and the elementary. I still volunteer in the school system now with my grandchildren in school. So I'm everywhere. I do for people. I don't look for accolades. I don't go out and tell people what I did for this person or that person. I just do what I have to do and move on to the next thing. But I enjoy spending time with my family. I enjoy doing things in the community. I enjoy exploring things that we have within the Savannah area that people probably don't know about. Like last weekend, my family and I went out and did the dolphin tours out at Tybee Island, which was awesome. That was fantastic. You guys got to try that. But I do a lot. I do a whole lot. I stay up above the board with the technology and the innovative with the young youth. I love talking to them. They keep me sharp. That's an excellent thing. They come, they sit down and chat with me and keeps me alive. So I do a lot. And my reason for running for this seat is to continue the work that I've been doing for the past 32 years, helping people, being there, making things accountable, making our representatives accountable for what they say they're going to do, and making sure that we don't have things come into our community that shouldn't be here, things that don't belong here. Fight to keep them out, fight to bring something in. That's what I do.
Sounds great. Sounds awesome. Well, our first round of questions, I guess, I'll go ahead and ask it, Robert, but I need you to do as much as you can because I know you'll lose a signal after a while.
Well, hopefully not. But let me just start off with this. Hopefully we can move out the round since maybe three people. I don't know what happened. Maybe they didn't like. We'll say that. But Sabrina, one of the things that's important to me in my community, and I live in the 5th district of Chatham County and Liberty City. Okay. And so although that area may not be one of your priorities, how do you plan to represent not just 165, but how do you plan to advocate for the citizens of Savannah, regardless of where they live? Now, for example, we know we have this debacle with the fairgrounds as an example, and how that has been botched by our leadership in Savannah. How do you plan to hear our voices along with our representative to say, the voices of the citizens are important. We know what our leaders and their corporate greedy folks want. How do you plan to stand with the citizens to say, this is what we need in Savannah, regardless of if it's in 165 or somewhere else in Chatham County?
Like I said in the beginning of my opening, what we say as the people are more important than what our representatives are saying. They are electing us into office. When they elect us, we need to listen to them. It's about what they're wanting in their community, what they're wanting in their surroundings. So my plans, and I've listened to that whole case with that fairground situation. I plan to continue to stand with the people. If they don't want any businesses, there shouldn't be any businesses over there. If they would prefer homes over there, then we need to put homes over there. In fact, that would be a prime spot to make a nice renovation area and make it like they did historic Savannah. Let's make that a historic area, a Victorian district. Make it look beautiful instead of pushing all of our minorities out to the south side of town where they've got them now at 204 and 95. And I was just telling Julius earlier, I didn't realize that they closed down the homes over there on Abercorn Street where the old hospital used to be. That place is totally empty now. And that just floored me because my question now is, where did they displace all those people to? I may be going to represent the 165th, but I represent all of Chatham County. Every single person that lives in Chatham County, Savannah, Chatham County, I represent all of Savannah, Georgia, Chatham County, not just the 165th. But I will work for the 165th, but I'm working for all of us. When I go to Atlanta, we all go to Atlanta. I don't go to Atlanta and then gain my own agenda. I don't have a personal agenda. My personal agenda is for the people of Chatham County. And I don't plan to be a career politician. I plan to go there to get some things done, to get us on track, to make Savannah number one, to make Chatham County number one on the map so that they can learn from us and be an example. Let us be an example to other counties, other cities. And then I will turn the reins over to somebody much younger than myself.
Okay. And speaking to and Julius, I'm gonna throw this in one more time. You said an important part. There's a lot. We have a big gap between experience and age in this particular race. Where we have a much seasoned individual who has led and been in these seats before. Yet there's some complaints around technology use. We have individuals who may have the wisdom from age, but may have not served in office before. Then we have on the other end of the spectrum, someone who has done the work before, but is young and may not understand priority, some may say. So how do you fit yourself in that spectrum, and how do you lead knowing the challenges that people perceive you having?
I don't have any challenges. The only challenges I have is sitting in office. Because I'm well experienced, I'm well knowledgeable, I'm well skillful. Not that I don't need to learn other things, but there's some things that I will learn along the way, just like little children learn along the way. But at the end of the day, I keep myself involved with young people. That keeps me up to date with technology, their innovation. They are so innovative. They've got a lot to say, a lot to do. Their minds are phenomenal. We need to learn from that. We need to incorporate that into what we currently have. And we're not doing that in this city. This whole world needs a whole makeover. But I'm not concerned about the whole world. I'm concerned about Savannah, Chatham, Georgia right now. That's the only thing I'm worried about. That's the only thing I'm concerned about, the people that's here. And I want us all to have a piece of the pie. We keep saying that we want to give better jobs. We need to give better opportunities to have ownership in some stuff. We got Georgia ports that's expanding beyond and out of control all the way into South Carolina. Some of our young people need to take reign of that and start taking ownership in some of that property and buying it as an enterprise, as a group, and putting their own storage units on it so that those companies can come in and they can have something that they can lease out to the companies, not just Georgia ports, but they can do that as well. It's plenty of property over there for sale. Let those young people use that innovative mind they've got and get some of that property and start leasing it out to those companies. It's so much that can be done. Listen, I can be slow when it comes to some things, but it's one thing for sure. I know how to get myself out there and get myself involved with the young people so that I can understand more about technology. I do understand technology. I know computers. I've worked on them for more than 12 years. But at the end of the day, I'm still learning things. I have a 9-year-old granddaughter to teach her grandmama stuff every day. She wants me to go get an Apple. I don't like Apple. I like Samsung. So me and her go tit for tat with that. But at the end of the day, she still teaches her grandmother a lot. And I love her for that because she keeps me abreast of things that I may not know. All the little social media pages. I'm up, getting there. Not all the way there, but I'm getting there. Okay. So those are things that I can learn, that I'm learning, and I have learned, and I'm still getting on those stepping stones to keep learning as I go along. But I have a lot to offer. Okay.
We're going to get to our next question. And that's, what is your thought on CTR, critical race theory? They want us to not talk about the history that affects Black people in this country, and they don't want it to be taught. They want us to forget it and wash it under the table so that it won't affect how kids growing up in today's world feel. But I think that, we need to have some type of dialogue on it to let people understand that we cannot forget who we are or what happened to us, and we cannot let anybody else forget. Every time we talk about race in this country, people think that you're a racist. It's not that you're a racist. You just understand that you have been racially profiled your whole life since they brought us over here on the boats. So what is your thought on critical race theory being taught in the schools?
First off, you know, like I said, I volunteer in the schools quite often. And if you watch the children in the school system today, especially in the elementary and the middle schools, our children are not the problem. It's the people that's teaching them and within their homes and outside of their homes. They're not racist. They don't see color. That doesn't matter to them. What matters to them is, oh, that's my friend. That's my buddy. I like them. I love them. But we teach them the wrong way. We all should know our history. We all should know how we got to where we are today. But we need to teach it in a way that we're not going backwards. So many of them want to teach it in a way that we're headed in the backward state of mind. And we can't go backwards. You're not going to take me backwards and make me a slave, because we are not in 1940 and 1950. This is 2021. We are in a whole nother decade. And what you're not going to do is beat me like you may have beat those people way back in those days. That's not going to happen. What you're not going to do is make me go out and pick cotton like you did those people back in those days. That no longer exists. We are just as innovative as we were then as we are now. What they don't want to tell you is the mailbox was invented by whom? A black man. The little T that they hit that golf ball off was invented by whom? A black man.
Yeah. And what they want to do.
They need to teach these things to our children because they don't know.
Correct. And
they need to understand that we came from people who had skills, who had knowledge. But because they had that and were unable to read and were unable to publish what they wanted to publish, they couldn't do those things because they were kept in the background or kept in the barn or wherever they kept them. Mm-hmm. So now we're in a world where we have got to be vigilant about making sure that our children get the knowledge. See, if we were like they were in China, we would go outside the classroom doors to teach our children. We want to keep them inside the classroom and teach them limited of old stuff.
Yeah, because they want to erase even the speeches that Martin Luther King gave.
They can't do that.
They don't want anything about King to even be known. And it erases our history. It erases our struggle. It makes everybody think that everything is okay when it isn't. And you know, the people have to understand we protest and march for a reason. Exactly. The reason is that things are not fair in this country. We run for office for a reason.
That's right.
We do these things for a reason. Stop wondering everything that we do is racial. No, everything that you do is racial. We're trying to just even the playing field. And we need people, you know, and you said something earlier, Sabrina, that, you know, whether your thoughts matter or not. Well, evidently it matters to us here on this network, on this platform, because you showed up when the others didn't. And what we're going to show in the next couple of years here is that this is where you will go to make things matter on this platform, because we're going to be the voice of the eyes and the ears for the Black community.
And let me say this, Julius, I like the idea that you guys have this set up, this platform. People have gotten to the point where they don't like the idea that minorities now have a stronger, more powerful voice. We have a voice and we are just as elegant and sophisticated and classy as they are. Mm-hmm. And the fact that we have an eloquent voice and can state our case, they don't like it. That's okay. Mm-hmm. You ain't got to like it, but you're going to respect it. Just like we gave you respect all those years, then you better step to the side and show me respect and show all of us respect that is doing just what you've done all of these years. because our children will have the same benefits that your children have had and your children before them have had. We're going to make sure our children have got the same benefits because they earned them, they deserve them, and they're going to get them.
We have a question from Ivan Cohen. Ivan says, will candidate Green be able to reach across the aisle for the wage issue?
Oh, of course
Great
I
question.
will.
Right.
Of course I will. Let me put it to you like this. Things that I've needed to get done throughout the community and understand things that I've worked on throughout the communities have not just been in the 165th over the years. I've worked with Congressman Kingston. I've worked with Representative Stevens, Ron Stevens. I worked with Mickey Stevens. I worked with Lester, limited, but I've worked with quite a few of them. And some of those are Republicans. I've gotten things done working with everybody. People might say, oh, is she going to cross? No, you've got to be able to work with everybody to get things done. I can't just work with one group of people because I may get nothing done because everybody wants to be the power player. It's not about me being a power player. It's about me taking care of the people. It's about me making things get done in our community. So in order to do that, I'm going to have to be able to cross the lines. And am I going to fight to cross those lines and go both sides, to the left, to the right? Yes, I am. I'm going to get it done. Trust and believe that by the grace of God, we're going to have minimum wage. If they don't give me $48 an hour, I will get no less than $28 an hour. $15 ain't going to cut it. That ain't but $28,000 a year. What is that going to do for you?
You know, you got a big mountain to climb, because in order to get any type of wage increase, you have to have the majority of the legislative body vote with you. And right now, we got to change a whole lot of seats for that to happen.
But guess what, Julius? All they got to do is give me the opportunity to stand in well. And if I get a hearing, I'm going to talk. And I'm going to make it powerful enough for them to hear my voice. And if they hear this voice, that's going to be enough.
There you go. Gwendolyn Glover says, curious to know if there's any legislation that Mickey Stevens was working on that this candidate will complete or try to work on.
Yes, I would. If there's any still on his desk that he was working on, and I'm uncertain at this point if there was any, because the last time I know Mickey to be in the office working was in 2018. And at that point, I'm not sure what he was working on. But if there is, I promise you that I will continue that and complete it. Okay.
Melinda had a question, but you already had answered this.
Okay.
She said, where was it? What makes you qualified? What qualifies you for this position, and how familiar are you with the issues of District 165?
Oh, I'm well familiar with the districts of 165. Let me put it to like this. I watch everything. If nothing else, I get in my car and I take drives all through the 165th. I see things coming into this area that don't belong in this area. They're trying to do to us what they've done in Victorian District, what they've done in the Historic District, and they're trying to push us out too. But every time I see something that's not right, I get on the phone and I call down to the city council and to the representative that represent that district, and I give them a conversation, and we have we chop it up a little bit, and then I find out what's going on. If I don't like it, then I go to those people, whoever the community leader is within that area, and I have a conversation with them. And if need be, then we're going to have a meeting and we're going to go before city council, because what's not going to happen, you're not going to push us out like you did those people downtown. That's not going to happen. And you're not going to push us out like you did those people in the Victorian District, and like you continue to do those people down there. That is not going to happen. It's not going to happen today. It's not going to happen tomorrow, because as long as I got breath in my body and a vehicle to move, I will call Uber if I have to. And I'm going to drive through this community like I'm doing right now. And I'm going to keep watching, and I'm going to keep looking, and I'm going to keep my notebook on the car seat like I always do. And I'm going to jot down stuff, and I'm going to pick up that phone, and I'm going to make a call. Even if it means I got to call all the way up to the state. If you don't know I don't call, you better call Representative Paul Gilliard and Representative Ron Stevens. I keep their phone hot.
Well, it sounds like you. Go ahead.
Well, Sabrina, and I'm glad you said that. One of the things that concerns me, especially in the city of Savannah, you spoke on city council, And
Mhm.
I'm so proud of our Power Three, and the others, I don't know where they are. Maybe they got amnesia on the way once they got the seat. I won't go there. But the Yamacraw piece bothers me. When we start talking about affordable housing, when we start talking about, that riverfront property wasn't cute and pretty until Kessler got down there and built Plant Riverside, and SCAD was given a free key by the mayor. But anyway, I won't go there.
Mhm.
So my question is this: how do we protect people in communities like Yamacraw when we have a city councilman who doesn't understand what's going on, is asleep at the wheel, and at your level, how do you protect people like that in the city of Savannah?
Let's remember this. Let's remember this. Part of that situation that they're going through right now did not happen under this administration. It happened under the prior administration. Those things were already put in place with the contractors that took over. And instead of them sitting down at the table with that contractor and says, okay, if you're going to come into this area and you're going to renovate it to make it nice and beautiful and make it uplift, then you're going to incorporate the people that already exist in that area. Then we're going to have some people come in and we're going to sit down and we're going to talk to the people that already exist there. We're going to have meetings continuous. I would be personally willing to go in there and sit down and talk with these people because I see them quite frequently. I run into them. I talk with them. I sit down. As a matter of fact, this was just Wednesday, and it's horrible when I don't feel good because I will approach people in the worst way. It seems the worst way to me when I don't feel good. This young lady, beautiful young lady, walk around with pajama bottoms and a bonnet on her head with a little girl in her arms. I stopped her in her tracks. Baby, listen. Where are you going with a bonnet on your head and pajama bottoms? Where are you going? And you got a little girl up in your arms. Do you understand what you are teaching her? You are teaching that child that she's going to be lazy and don't care about herself. You need people to go in there and teach them to care about themselves. We want to make sure that our people remember where we came from, remember the people that fought to get us where we are today. But we got to remember that we have to go in there and continually to talk with these people and let them know we got contractors coming here. They're going to renovate. We're going to beautify this place. We're going to uplift it, make it look beautiful. But we want all of us to be on the same page. And then we're going to make sure before we even get to that point that we're giving them some livable wages so they can all get out and go get nice jobs, making something like $35,000, $40,000 a year.
And I hear what you're saying. However, what I would like to see, and what I see in leadership is being able, and I know the contracts were made, whatever, I don't care about that. Just like those contracts were made, they can be pulled apart.
Right,
but
that's
how
true.
Can we, hold on. How can we depend on you to stand up and be that mouthpiece to stand when that young lady in that monitor doesn't understand the process? But we as leaders are put in there for a reason. So how do you plan on advocating for those people who may not understand that process?
I will go into those communities continuously, have conversations with them, meetings with them. If I got to go door to door with them, put out flyers and give them information and talk with them. I will go to meetings with city council, county commissioners. We need to sit down and we need to make sure that if these contracts are not saying what they need to say as far as the contractor going in and doing renovation and uplifting these areas and incorporating the minorities that are already there, and instead of pushing them out and leaving them in there, we got a problem. Then we can't touch the ground. We can't do anything until we renegotiate these contracts, because we got to not push anybody else out. 204 now has 3 project units. They got to walk 1.5 miles to 2 miles to get to the bus stop. That's crazy. And another 10 miles to get to the first grocery store. That don't make any sense to me.
Robert brought up something I think is very vital to and important to the listeners of this platform, because we understand that we have 3 fighters at City Hall that get ignored a whole lot. You have Alicia Miller Blakely, you have Keisha Gibson Carter, and you have Bernetta Bryant Lanier. They're fighting for everything that we need in this city, but they're being ignored and pushed aside and blackballed.
And that's poor leadership.
Even in the media. So I like the fire that you give, because you seem to would be one of those people that would be on the front line with them.
Of course I would.
Because right now you don't have any state reps with them right now that will stand up with them except for Derek Milo. Milo is there and he does what he needs to do. But the women are being ignored and they're out there fighting. They're fighting for the people, and you seem to want to do that too. And that's what it's all about, to understand that it's not about you. It's not about big business. It's about making sure that the playing field is level, that equity comes to every neighborhood of the 165,
That's exactly
not only
right.
just the 165 of the
But
whole
all of Chatham County.
And
But let
outside.
me correct you, Julius, in saying that it's not that this is something I've been doing for 32 years in this community, definitely in the 165th. If I have a problem, I make sure I take care of it. What you're not going to do, I'm going to give you a prime example. In coming into Nottingham, just off of Skidaway and Eisenhower, if you turn in there, there's now a storage unit sitting there that is currently sinking in the back part of it. They wanted to put a 92 unit project unit there during the time that Mayor Johnson was in place and during the time that Mayor Jackson was in place. They wanted to put a 92 unit project unit on that property. That property has methane gas on it. And until myself and a couple of other community leaders came together and stood before them, and if they don't believe me, go to the archives and pull the video from 2010, 2012. You will see what we're talking about. 2016, somewhere up in there. It was from 2012 to 2016. You can pull the videos and see what we said to them. You cannot put human lives on top of methane gas. That's the problem they had in Weatherwood, and the county commissioners had to pay those people to move off of that property. But they were trying their darndest to build a 92 unit project on top of that property, which is methane gas. And we fought until we got them out of here. Then somehow Julian Miller went behind the back door, however he did it, and got approval during Mayor Jackson's term, and they signed off on it, including Mayor Johnson, Van Johnson. They signed off on it, and they put that storage unit over there. Now, the back part of that storage unit is sinking. So that man has since sold it to another company and is now under new management. Sold out. Yeah. He done sold out because he didn't tell that man that property is sinking again. Now, let me tell you what they did that they didn't tell the people across the street in front of the property, that they're sitting, they took a pipe and ran it underground and sit it on the corner of the property on the corner house and let the methane gas run underneath the ground and causing 3 of the houses to sink. That lady done went and rebuild up her house. And every time she do it, it sinks some more. And I stopped and had a conversation with her and told her what the situation was. Has she done anything? I don't know. I don't see anything taking place, but that's her property. Okay, those are the kind of things that I fight for. So it don't seem like I'm fighting. I fight, Julius. I fight for my people. I fight for everybody. Because what you're not going to do is mistreat the people that live in the 165th. You are not going to mistreat these people that live in Chatham County and think just because you carry a title that you all of that in a bag of chips. No, sir. Either you're going to handle yourself as a representative and you're going to do right by the people that you said you was going to represent, or you're going to get out of the seat. I'm sorry. That's just the way it is.
Okay. So, we got a bunch of questions, but Melinda, you might want to call her with all these questions you got up here.
My number is 912-308-9470.
Hold on, they're gonna call you all night now.
912-308-9470. I'm available 24 hours a day, baby.
Look, I bet you can't call the other candidates. I'm just saying. Go ahead, Julius.
You can call me. I'm available 24 hours a day. I answer my phone, and trust and believe, if you call my phone and you don't get me the first time, I'm either on another call or I'm probably tied up with my grandbabies or tied up in a meeting. Whatever it is, I do return my calls all the time.
Well, we also see that you're the only one that checks your email and care about
That's a fact.
about all of Savannah, not just part of
Did it?
Savannah. They
I
think
certainly
that,
do.
and this is what we have to root out. We have to root these type of people out who don't have any concern for our community. They don't think that this is um, that this is important enough for them to check their email to appear. They
No.
and they select who they want to come and be a part of. But they ought
Well,
to know. They ought to know
Please let
I
me
don't
go back
play.
to answer your
well,
question. I'm sorry, I did not answer your question. Those three ladies, those three powerhouse ladies on city council, they fight because they care about the people. I do believe that.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, they have leadership that don't respect their opinions, that don't respect the people in the community that they represent. Because if they did, they would take the time to listen to them. They would take the time to at least go out and talk to the people that they represent and find out what it is they need as well. And I have yet to see our mayor, Dan Johnson, go out to any of those communities that those three powerhouse ladies represent to say, let me go and see what the real problem or the real issues are. Let me go and see what these ladies are fighting for, who these ladies are fighting for. And until I see that happens, the only thing I see from this mayor is that he don't care. And if you
well, let me.
cared, you would get out your office and go out with these three ladies and see what it is they're fighting for.
And let me offer this. Let me
I'm
step back.
just saying, that's my opinion. That was
Right,
the answer to
right.
your question,
No,
Mr.
no, no,
Moore. I'm
no.
sorry.
Right. No, I'm going back to what Julia said a moment ago. Here's my thing. I could care less as a voter in Savannah, in Chatham County. I'm a voter. I don't care that you have these wonderful titles, that you serve in this role,
Okay.
or you got this company. I don't care about that. But you cannot show up, regardless of if you can check an email or not. What that shows me is you don't have an apparatus or a system to be connected with the constituents. Sabrina's showing that today. I don't care about all the accolades and that you've done this and that you're in this organization and that you take great pictures and you're the youngest. I don't care. Are you going to stand for the people and are you going to be accessible? And that, Julius, is what I'm concerned about today. I think all four of y'all are qualified. However, when you can't get into the details and find a way to stay connected to your constituents, you're showing me that you're not ready.
Well,
That's
I
correct.
already have accolades. I was born into a big family with a big name, and I'm good.
Ivan Cohen asks whether there are any standing committees you would be interested in serving on.
I'm not sure just yet. I haven't thought about that, Van. You know what, Julius? To be honest, I truly have not focused in on that, but I guess I need to because all I've been focusing on is the people of Chatham County and the 165th, just trying to figure out what I can do to help them. But if one of them committees going to help me get something for this city, then I'm going to get on that committee, whatever that committee is. Definitely the transportation committee.
Melinda said you're welcome to come to the Cloverdale community meeting 6 p.m. on Tuesday,
Okay.
October the 12th. I don't know. Is Cloverdale in your district?
It's not, but I'll go out there because it's still
Okay.
Chatham County.
And I don't
And
think
that's what I'm talking about.
It's
That's what I'm
still
talking about
Chatham
right
County.
now.
that's right.
Yes.
That's right. Because they might know somebody in your district.
That's
Hello.
right. I
That's
will
right.
be there October the 12th, right?
At 6 p.m., Cloverdale Community
Gotcha.
Center.
I got you. I'll be there.
Okay. And I think Melinda's the president over there,
Okay.
so you can contact her and get on the agenda because we need everybody to see that you care. And see, this is what they try to do. They want to drown you out, and because you want to fight for the people. Anybody want to fight for the people? Anybody want to wake black people up? They really want to move out of the way, or they don't want to put into position. We have people that want to go just because they want to be just like those people that are already there. And we need different type leaders now. And I know that you will be that type of person because, see, they right now they operate in silos. The reason that the black community can't get nothing done is because we operate in damn silos. Every time, everybody think if you are with the state body, you don't need to be with the city. council members, or you don't need to be with the city council members of the other municipalities, or you don't need to be with the county commissioners unless they're your real good buddy. We got to stop operating like that. You need to talk to the school board members. You need to talk to
You got to talk to
board of
everybody.
elections members. You need to talk to the county, the city, all the other municipalities. Everybody needs to be working together.
Exactly.
And this is the problem. We work in silos and we get nothing done. Now you got 3 women out there fighting their butts off every day, and they are trying to tell people we're not going to operate in a silo. We're going to operate together so that we can bring a voice to this community and to the needs of this community. And we need you to be a part of that, because
Julius, they say they'll tell you got a valid point. You have to work with every entity in this city in order to get something done. So you'll know what you need to bring to the table, what you got to bring to the table. I've got people saying to me, well, she don't have no money. You know why I don't have no money? Because I haven't been bought. The people that is contributing to my campaign are people who love me, people who are actually putting money, a little penny here, there, a little dollar here, there, to do what's got to be done. Those are people who care about me. Those are people who respect me, and I respect them and love them just as much. I'm not being bought by anybody, have never been bought by anybody, and won't be bought by anybody, because the day that I sell my soul to the devil, then y'all will have to know that I am absolutely, positively no good to any of you. I will never be any good to anybody once I have been bought. And I have never been bought by anybody and will not be bought by anybody.
Okay,
I got you.
Left her phone number for you.
I got you, 7509.
And Ms. Glover said there's no I in team. That's true.
That's right.
And we need to make sure that this lady is in some type of way. I mean, I had ideas of what I wanted to do and who I wanted to support, but I'm supporting anybody that's for the people and going to talk like they're for the people. It ain't about you, it's about the people. And that's what we have to start electing, people who go and serve unselfishly. And we're going to be organizing soon so that we can make sure that those are the type of leaders that we put in place. People won't respect it at first, but we're going to make them respect it. I guarantee you that. They're going to have to respect the people that we put up there, because nobody else is going to vote for that other person. We're tired of the days of the sellouts. And those sellouts have to go. They shouldn't even be in line to be elected to anything other than dog catcher. So that's where we're going with that. I got another question. Robert, you got anything? I got a question I wanted to ask her.
Oh no, go ahead. Go ahead with yours.
One thing that I see a whole lot is before COVID, it was every time you look, there's always these trips to New Orleans. There's always these trips to Mississippi and to Carolina and to Florida. How do you feel about a revenue generator like a casino coming to the port city or to Georgia?
Let me put it to like this. You said the key word. We got all of these trips going to take people to New Orleans, Vegas. We take all of our tax dollars to all of these other big cities who doing wonderful things. And they take their tax dollars and they decrease property taxes and all of the state and local taxes, while our city keep impeding taxes on our homeowners. And the problem with that is we don't have livable wages here. Why you want to keep impeding taxes on people that don't have the money to pay all of those taxes? And then you want to take their property. Then when you take their property, you give it to contractors who put them out of their homes. They put them out of their homes. Now you got homelessness and poverty. Again, we're going all the way back till we got to increase the wages. We got to increase. And I ain't talking about no $10, $15 wages. We talking about something where these people are going to make starting at $35,000 to $40,000 a year and giving them $1 raise every year thereafter. It should have been that way from day one. From the time I graduated high school, the government should have felt like it was $1 raise every year. And let us make no mistake about it. The wages don't have to come from the federal. It could come from per state. So Georgia needs to be an example state for all other states. So having a casino here, not only will it give us economic growth, but it will also give us a greater tax revenue for both the state and the local. And it's going to give us some wages.
Okay, I like that answer. Let me ask you something. You live in the city of Savannah?
I live in the county.
Okay, so you're not in the city districts.
I live in the county. My mom lives in the city.
What part?
My mom and my sister lives in the city.
Well, do they live? Any of them live in the third?
Oh, of course they do. All of them.
Can you move? Can you move there?
Can I move there? I can.
Well, technically, you can't live there. Let's leave it at that. You got dual residence. We're going to leave it at that.
Yeah. Tabitha Odell ain't never lived where she say she lived at.
For the record, you live in the third today. And you live both places. Ain't no wrong with having two houses.
Let me tell you how crazy it is in the third district. I live in the third district in the county. And if you cross the street, I'm in the city. If you cross back over, I'm in the county. That's how crazy it is. That's how close we are in proximity of how that map is drawn between the city and the county.
Okay, here's a good question. Rather than a casino, how can we get more money from the Georgia ports to improve our low wealth communities? Especially
I would say at this point, Georgia ports can offer us at least 2% of their revenue back into the local environment here and out to the local city, because 2% is not even asking too much considering what's coming in there.
Even if it wasn't 2%, they are not offering anything. They're not offering to do anything. You know why? Because we're not demanding nothing. And
why is that?
We elect the people that will demand those things, then they're not going to give you anything. Power is never ceded to anybody. You must take it. Money is never given to anybody. You must ask for it or take it. So
it's the same thing, Julius, with it's the same thing with our institution with SCAD. They're not paying any taxes. Why? Because again, you say they're not asking. Most states that's got a private institute, they're paying at least their fair share of revenue back into the community. I believe that SCAD has beautified our city beyond our imagination. I respect that. I appreciate that. I love that. But at the end of the day, I believe it's time for them to pay their fair share of taxes back into this community. Listen, when these people stop paying their fair share, this decreases the taxes on homeowners. We got to stop impeding all these extra fees on our homeowners. Stop putting all the pressure on us and stop putting the pressure back on the people that we're giving so much to that's not giving anything back to us. Because what are they giving back to us?
And to speak on that, what worries me are our seniors and the elders and communities like Carver Village. I'm very concerned. People don't realize this, and people call me a lie, but I know I'm not lying. You put that arena, and I'm speaking directly to a person, I ain't gonna call a name, but you allowed that arena to be built right by those folks, an old historic Black community in the city of Savannah. In the city of Savannah, meaning you're gonna displace some seniors. That's sick to me. That's sick to me. Do you ever look in the damn mirror? Does that person ever look in the mirror and realize you about to sell these folks out? You about to get rid of a whole patch of our history?
I'm trying to understand. My biggest question is, how do they sleep at night knowing that you're displacing people that are of age, people that are minorities, people that will have to scramble to find some place to go because you chose to displace them, knowing that the property that they could move to in the Victorian district or the downtown area is far beyond what they could ever probably afford, because one, they're not making the money to do so, and two, you know that that's out of their reach. How do these people sleep with themselves at night? There's no way they sleep with themselves at night. They got a horrible price to pay with the Lord Jesus when they leave this world. I do know that, because ain't no way in the world they could sleep peacefully at night, knowing the things that they have done to his people.
And that's
For
true.
those who have done the least of these, God says, for the least of these to his people that you have done, but they keep doing and doing and doing and doing, and they don't even care. That's crazy. And I'm going to tell you what I found out the other day to all of the elderly people that may be listening today, or people who are on this call, on this Zoom that's listening. I discovered the other day that once you turn 62, that we don't have to pay homeowner taxes. Now I'm digging a little more into that because I want to find out why we don't have to pay homeowner taxes and what are the do's and don'ts to that. And once I find out, I'm gonna let everybody else know, because I thought, I just turned 62, I ain't got to pay homeowner taxes no more. Oh Lord!
And with that, what are your thoughts on Weepy Time?
Yeah, listen, that place should have been built up so long ago for the people in that area to even know what that is. Do you know how many times I've taken that exit and had no clue that that little monument was there? And I think one day I stopped there, and I can't remember what happened. For whatever reason, I stopped there and I got out of my car and went up to the thing and read it. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I never knew this was here. Never knew it was there. Never knew why it was there. So I think that we need to make sure that that is refurbished and recognized more than it is today. The people in the community need to recognize it. That whole entire community need to be built up and refurbished. See, they're going to keep right on until they be done push them out of that area. They ain't happy till they done pushed everybody out of the living space that they live in.
Just like they're doing in Clearview now. They're moving, and y'all
do know who owns that property now, right?
Where, in Clearview?
Yes.
Who, Formie them?
Georgia Ports.
Oh, Georgia Port owns that?
Yes.
I thought they were building houses over there.
Who said they're building houses over there? They own all the way up to Hudson Hill.
Boy, I look like this representative. This thing only look like she represented already. Go ahead, though.
Okay.
So
they own all the way up to Hudson Hill, honey. So
they're planning on putting container yards there or something?
You see all those containers back there that wasn't there before?
What the hell?
Oh, okay.
Looks like somebody representative ready.
Okay.
See,
okay.
Wow. That would make all trucks and everything come through there. It's already not even something. That's why I said about people selling out.
Yep.
And where is our where is our elected official for that area, not the city? I'm talking about the state elected official for that area. Where is he or she? Well, there ain't no she. Where is he to speak out on this?
Again, I say, where has he been when he needed to go out and stand out? But see, again, this took place prior to this administration. This took place during Mayor Jackson's regime.
This is turning into Charleston, it seems. All over again, because they're pushing us out from every corner. And then when they take Clearview, Bayview next, and then at the Bayview, then Hudson Hill.
Okay, they already own all of that all the way up to Hudson Hill now.
Yeah, they'll have that whole side of Bay Street.
They own all of that all the way up to Hudson Hill.
Yeah, they'll
and
have
that
whole
all
side
the way
of
back.
But you know what?
Drive back those streets, you see where it goes to.
Yeah.
But you know what? For you to know this, and on the other side of town, I'm impressed. I must say that I'm impressed. So I got extra voters. Y'all must take a close look.
Like I said, I'm everywhere. I be everywhere. I read everything. I pay attention when nobody else is paying attention.
Okay. Got a couple other questions. Sherelle, hi Sherelle. I want to thank all y'all for tuning in. You, Melinda, Ivan, all y'all
Miss Grant, I'm gonna get with you.
There for us, and regular watchers, and we appreciate y'all, and we appreciate y'all sharing it. But Sherelle said, I'm a senior, and I just spoke with an appraiser last week. I definitely pay homeowners tax.
And she shouldn't be. I'm gonna check it. Listen, Miss Grant, I'm still doing the homework, and when I do, I'm gonna make sure that Mr. Hall knows so that he can let y'all know what the deal is with that.
Well, we tried to get Sonia Jackson on so she could tell you
Yeah.
about the senior
Give
exemption.
us some details on it, because I read something on it the other day. I was actually Googling one thing and that popped up, and I was like, what? I ain't got to pay senior tax. I ain't got to pay homeowner taxes no more. Wow.
Melinda says too often elected officials promise to address issues that are outside of their wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Will you make it clear what you are truly able to address?
Say that again.
She wanted to know whether you address, she said people address things that are outside of their purview. Will you make it clear what you are truly able to address?
I am truly able to address minimum wage, livable wages. I am truly able to address sex trafficking. I am truly able to address the fact that you all are being displaced out of your homes. I am truly able to address senior transportation that they've taken funds back from the federal and the state level that was being available to them. I'm truly able to address the youth, the things that they need, the things that they want, the things that we're not listening to. Anything else out there, I can still address it. Those are the top things that's on my list. And those are things that I could truly address.
Well, and I think this whole state, you know, what we have now, and I'm just going to be frank because that's what I am. I just tell it like I see it. What we have is a bunch of officials, other than the ones that are fighting, like Alicia, Keisha, and Bernetta, and who are just blind and deaf, because you see what is happening overall in this whole county. You see it. And instead of standing up and fighting and not worrying about being reelected, you turn a blind eye to it or a deaf ear to it.
Oh, yeah.
And we got to start understanding that if these people don't come out for our cause, we're not coming out for theirs. There are folks that can't call me no more who called me the last time that they got elected. There are folks that cannot call me. I want them to call me because if I work for them through my consulting firm, it'll be a high-ass price. So it'll be a really, really, really high price because I'm not working and doing anything for some people anymore. You cannot get that out of me because and then there's some people who call me for my endorsement, but they never say the word for me. They never stood up for me. So if you didn't stand up and if you don't find nowhere on record where you endorsed me or if you came out and supported me, then please don't call my damn number because I will not support. I don't care if it's Warnock. I don't care if it's Ossoff. And I brought Ossoff to Savannah. So, you know, you cannot call me. It's just as plain and simple as that. You can't call me. You can't ask for my support no more. I might not say anything about you, but I'm not going to say anything for you. That's just not going to happen unless you pay me very well. And I have a company. That's what I'm saying. I'm not selling out. I have a business. And so I did a lot of free work last time. There's no more free work for these people who only look out for themselves. So that won't happen.
Yeah, I just, it's time out for everybody want to be quiet and be hush hush. And everybody's scared. So if I say this, they won't vote for me. If I do this, they won't vote for me. Listen, I'm fighting for you all. I'm fighting for us. It's not just about me. This is not about me and my family. This is about all of us. When I get to Atlanta, we all get to Atlanta. When I fight for us all. If you notice my literature, everything that I say is about when it's time for us to go, it's our time to go. It's our time to go. It's our time to ride. It's not about me. It's not about the man next. It's about all of us to go. We got to stop throwing the rock and hiding our hands.
Robert was saying something.
Yeah, Sabrina, let me ask you this. So many times we hear that same speech from all of our elected politicians. Mm-hmm. I see elected leaders as a different thing, but politicians. Mm-hmm. The one thing my parents taught me is when we eat, the entire family eats. Period.
That's right.
How can you ensure us that when you're elected, that the entire family will eat? Tell us how you're going to ensure that.
I said it just then. I do it now.
Well, I mean, show us, like, for example, are you going to reach out to the people, or are we just going to see you when it's time for the election again? What are the real tangible strategies you're going to implement
see me,
so that we know that you're telling the truth?
They first off, they built me a website that will be out there continuously, even beyond this campaign. So everything I do will always show up on that website. When I'm here in Savannah, I'm going to be everywhere, not just in the 165th, but everywhere. My time is dedicated to the people. My mother has always taught us, be where you're supposed to be where you need to be, always be accountable. Make yourself accountable so that when people have to come and make you accountable, they can't find no fault on you. They can't find you not keeping your word. Because one thing about me, if I've told you I'm going to be there, if I told you I'm going to do something, if I told you it's going to get done, it's done.
Well, the only person
always be accountable.
The only person I know running in the 165th is Sabrina Green Kent.
Thank you, Julius.
Yeah, that's
Lord, he better get that messed up now. Jay Jones gonna come calling us now.
I mean, I don't know nobody else. Nobody else showed up. Nobody else showed up, so they must be not running. They must be dropped out.
Hey, I'm just gonna say it like this. I can see why Better Savannah endorsed shit. That's all I'm gonna say. That's as close I'm gonna get to that's as close as I'm gonna get to the stove.
Yeah, and I thank them so much for that. They are awesome. Better Savannah did endorse me.
Well, you got all the right answers. And see, that's the problem. The problem with you being elected is you got all the right answers. They don't want a person. They want somebody that's going to hedge on some things and not a clear answer. Just like, do you support the women in the agenda item with how they did it, and they can't get on how the Van Johnson took the privilege of having things put on the agenda by everybody on council. They're asking all the candidates whether they support helping them in that cause and getting that taken care of.
Yeah, I do. Listen, I already told them. First off, I don't know why he felt the need or felt that he could take that right away from not just them, but he took that right away from somebody like me, somebody like a regular constituent out here in the street. Wow. Because there used to be a time that I could pick up the phone, and if I needed to be on an agenda for city council, I could call and get to be on their agenda. Now I got to go through a protocol, different type of protocol, and see if I got to be screened to see if what I got to say to them is worth them listening to. Man, have you lost your mind? I am a constituent. I'm a voter. The last thing you need to do is be screening what I need to come and say to you.
I can tell you why it happened. You ask why it happened. I can tell you why it happened. It happened because if people need to open their eyes, all his life, all his Savannah life, he's always wanted to be in the limelight. He's always wanted to shine, Van Johnson. He's always wanted to shine. He will not have anybody outshine him. You see him on TV every damn day. Every day, the news station pulling up to City Hall. Every damn day. This is not Los Angeles or New York.
Okay.
Y'all ain't gonna talk about this like that now.
Every damn day, it's a news station at City Hall interviewing this man. Ain't nothing going on. How can he get his damn work done? He on camera all day, and then when he ain't on camera there, he on his own. He act like he got a platform like we got. He got more shows than me. I'm doing this as a business. What the hell?
He got a platform, but he don't want us to come and be on the agenda? Really?
Yeah.
Ooh, y'all been messy.
But listen, I'm telling you, I'm being honest. When y'all need to get on the agenda, I used to pick up the phone and call down there and get on the agenda. You can't do that no more.
But Sabrina, he will not let anybody outshine him. It's impossible to outshine this guy. Alicia, Keisha, Bernetta, they were going to put things in place, and Estella, but Estella has somehow realized that she can get on the other side now. And I love Estella. But Estella has done things that, and we just got to call it like it is on this platform. I don't put no much. That's my sister. But you can't whisper nothing to me no more. Everything you say to me must be said out loud from now on. Don't whisper nothing to me. Nothing.
We got to say it like it is.
You know, because when you fight to the death. When you fighting for the people, you fight for the people to the death. You don't get off when you get a little rocky because somebody is threatening you with a position. You wasn't born with that damn position. Don't worry about it. You there to serve the people, not yourself. And that's where we get these selfish people. And I know that we're just going to be a forum, but not that turn into a discussion because you're the only one showed up. So we're going to talk openly.
My website. Hey, we got 20 more minutes. Y'all, hey.
Well, I just figure like this. I'm going to represent the people just like, and I don't consider myself to be Jesus, but you ain't see Jesus run from nothing. You ain't see Jesus change his tail for nobody.
Come on now, be
so
that
either you gonna stand up for the people like Jesus stood up for the people, and he stood up in the open. He didn't hide his hand. He didn't throw no rocks and hide his hand.
That's right.
So either you gonna stand like he did, or you're not gonna stand. You can't stand up and say you stand for Jesus and then do something on the other side and act like you don't know what Jesus did. Make up your mind who you are now. Make up your mind who you are.
Estella is behaving just like Linda Wilder Bryan, self-serving. Wow.
Well, man, let me tell y'all something. And Sabrina, this is important to me. You know, going back to Liberty City, one of the things that irked me, and we talked about this in the District 5 caucus, is when one thing I don't play with is my elders. And my father and a number of my elders told us about zoning laws a long time ago. But when you get in there and you rezone a community, to open it up to the floodgates when that community is fine and the people in that community say, we don't want to be rezoned, why would you go rezone it anyway and then come back and tell a lie talking about, well, we really didn't rezone it for that purpose? You're damn lying. So what's going on? Tell us what's going on in your opinion.
Here's first off,
a lie's a lie. I'm
gonna tell you this. If they go to that table and they rezone the 165th without any representation from the 165th, I'm going to get a petition started for the 165th to all sign it, and they're going to have to go back and they're going to have to redo it because we had zero representation at the table. That's a promise to everybody in the 165th. Number two, y'all done pushed all those people out there to 204 and 95. Who's representing them now? I want them incorporated into the 165th. So they'll have some representation. Since y'all done pushed them all the way out there because y'all didn't want them into the city limits. Y'all didn't want them in the Victoria district. Y'all didn't want them up here in this area. So you pushed them all the way out there. So now they got to have good representation. So I want them in the 165th.
Hey, while you talking about that, guess what? I don't know if y'all know, Julius and Sabrina. Let's talk about this. The folks in the east side, over there in your area, Sabrina, you better watch out, because guess what? That Eastern Wharf, that ain't going to stop right there at that bridge.
Oh, trust me, I know. I see it. I ride around. Don't think I don't ride around and watch them. They trying real hard, but every time I see something, I get on that phone and call. I get on. Why? Why is this happening? And who approved this? And every time they put up one of them signs, I call. I'm going to be at that meeting. And don't let me not see a sign, because there's got to be a sign posted before they start any type of construction. Because if I don't see a sign, somebody got a problem. Because that sign got to be posted, I think, for 30 days or more before they start anything. I already know what time it is. Don't think I don't ride all through the 165th.
Ivan Cohen said, Dr. Bryant, they didn't lie, they just exaggerated.
But guess what? We gonna vote their ass out.
Exactly. It's gonna take a while.
Election year.
It's gonna take a while for us to do the things that we have in place, and so they might have a term or so left, but we're gonna start recruiting people that have only the people in mind, those candidates that have only the people in mind. So
And
as
no
long as
hidden
I got breath
agenda.
in my body, I promise that I'll be a part of that recruitment, no matter where it's at in this county. But we need everybody to join on. All you all that are looking out there who see this video, who hear our voice, it is time for all of us to stand up. Not just one of us, not just some of us. It's time for most of us most of us to stand up because we can't change anything by ourselves. We're
Nope.
going to need the help from
We
everybody.
need to
And we got
fight.
to stop falling prey to these career politicians who know how to turn on the charm, kiss babies, attend every funeral, attend every party they ain't invited to, go to every
Woo!
debutante ball. You know, it's a
Who
lot
done
of
crashed the
stuff.
party?
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff that we got to do. You know,
Look, and look, Sabrina, we haven't touched on this, but it's important, very important to me and important to our families and especially to the parents out there. What is your thought and how you working with the school board? And one of the things that I think we have a fabulous superintendent, Dr. Levette, has done a beautiful job in her leadership. But what we're
Mhm.
dealing with right now is board overreach. What's your vision with the school board?
You skipped out a little bit. You froze up on us.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
So yeah, no problem. I'm asking, what would your relationship and your working life look like when you're elected when it comes to the school board?
You know what? Even now, every now and then, I'm sure Dr. Levette will vouch for that. I send her little messages every now and then if I see something that I can suggest to her that she can incorporate in whatever she's doing to kind of help along, like the transitioning of the kids back into the school system. I know in the private schools, they've had their central heating and air people come out and place something in their outside units that every time the air cycles back and on and off, that it purifies the air within every room, every hall to help keep the air clean and keep the kids safe and keep the staff safe. That would help and alleviate and decrease the spreading of COVID, the flu and colds and everything else. One of the things I will support them with and try to get more funding if need be is make sure that they get more janitorial staffing in there so that every time those kids leave the classroom is to make sure that they have somebody go in there and get those. They got these little power machines that they can go in and spray down and sanitize the rooms, keeping them clean, making sure the kids stay safe and clean. They could do that while they're at lunch, while they're on the playground, while they're changing classes, whatever the situation may be. But the school board will always have my support. Mainly, yes, my grandkids in there. I've got grandnieces and nephews that are in there. But I like to see every child get a powerful education because they're so innovative. Our children are so smart. And whether we believe it or not, children, some of our better ideas come from kids. We don't have to ever admit it because some of my ideas have come from kids, just sitting, watching them and listening to them. I sit in the classrooms, I go to the playground, I go to lunch, and you just sit and you watch them. They are truly innovative. They really are. And to sit and watch them is amazing. Sometimes I just sit there and I laugh sometimes, and the teachers say they are a mess. I say, yeah, you got that right. But I love it because it's energizing to me. It's very energizing. One of the biggest problems I see in our school system right now, there are too many children in one classroom for one teacher to have to deal with. And that to me creates a problem because somebody's child is going lacking. And we don't need that many children in one classroom. How we resolve that, I don't know if we need more teachers. I don't know if we need to get outside the classroom. I don't know what is needed in that, but I would do the homework and find out. And one of the most powerful people that I know that have created a system that works is Ron Clark. He has a school system that works. I know partly how he did it, but I don't know all of it. But I'm willing to go and learn more and bring it back to Chatham County.
Well, and what I said, I think when I cut off y'all earlier, was I support our superintendent. She's a product of the school.
I
She's
do
done great
support
work.
her.
And hold on, but the thing is, we have board overreach. I think the board, especially the board president, may be optimistic, and I appreciate that. But how do we strike that balance where we can allow the superintendent to do what she needs to do to be the leader she needs to be, but also have a board that understands the balance of that?
To be honest with you, Mr. Bryant, I would have to figure out, in order to get involved with that, if the school system, I don't know that they're still under the state. I think they're privately owned now at this point. They're under a private company. But if they're still under the state, that would be something that I could look at, and we can make something happen where Dr. Levette can do what she needs to do to make things happen for the better.
Who's
That way
under a private
she
company?
don't have no restraints on her. I thought they were under a private company.
Who?
Are they?
Who?
The school board.
Oh, no.
No, you might
They're
be
not?
talking about the
Are they still under
transportation.
the state?
Well, yeah, all county offices
County
cannot.
entity.
Yeah, right. But you're probably talking about the transportation part of it.
Is that what it is? I wasn't sure. See, I wasn't sure which part is, if they're all under private or they're all under the state. Or...
At one time, the transportation part was outsourced, which made no sense to me.
Okay.
But anyway, I wasn't in that role. But now they're I believe my understanding is, based on the episode we did with the drivers, they are now back with the as a partnership with the school board.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So that's a whole other issue, which reminds me, y'all, this is a great point for all of us to talk about. I saw a headline where the school board wanted to pay off this $1 billion debt. Well, my question is, why not offer some kind of incentive raises for A, the current employees, and B, let's find some more drivers since we don't have that many drivers. What's going on?
I don't know what the problem is, but pay the people what they're worth. Please do. They need to get paid some livable wages. That's number one. I don't understand why they're not paying them. What's the problem? And give them some good benefits. I don't know what benefits they have or don't have, but I think it's I'm not sure what's going on with their benefits. But as far as their pay, they're not paying them well. But you want to get everything, you want to squeeze blood out of a turnip. That's not the way that works. That is not the way that works. You got to do better. Again, we're back at the livable wages.
It's a lot of things that we need to be addressing, and as soon as this election is over, I think me and Robert will be hitting a whole lot of issues every Saturday with people that we need to talk to, and you're welcome to come and be a part of that in some kind of way. But we have a lot that we need to address in our community, because we're part of our own problem, because we've been trained to be a part of our own problem.
That's true. I agree with that.
One of the things that I want to tackle, Robert, in the next couple of weeks, right after the election, Robert, is the church. And one of the things, serious, and this goes back to
no, you're right
to the conditions that we're in. How many white churches you can ride down the street and see?
Okay.
Not many.
Okay.
And they make up half of this county.
Okay.
But you barely see any of their churches because they're not operating in silos.
Okay.
There you go.
They all go from one church here or one church here. It's 900 churches in this county.
No.
It's 800 black ones.
Okay. I was going to say, be Pacific now.
Look, in Liberty City, on every corner, we got a church.
That's sad.
Y'all know that.
Yeah. It's about ego.
I'm gonna tell you.
Bringing those power structure.
There you go.
And bringing our people together. You're creating a division with all these churches.
Yeah.
Talking about, it don't matter if this one person is the word of God. Well, take that one person and go to the other church.
You're dividing our people.
It don't matter.
And here's the other thing I have with the problem I have with that. With all the churches we have in this city, that always collecting a building fund, Yeah, they should have owned more than half the property in the areas for which they are sitting. And we
That's
would
called a
have
vision.
people that are not homeless right now today. They would
That's
have
that's
homes
called a
to go
vision.
to.
That's called a vision. That's the problem. Everybody think they got the vision, but you don't.
Because a vision would be, if you're collecting a building fund, you would own half the property that's surrounding your church, and you would have homes for these people to go to, and they would not be homeless. I don't understand why we still have homeless and jobless people with all of these
I
churches that's
understand.
collecting
I
building funds.
understand.
We're
I'm
gonna
just
talk about
sorry.
it and we're gonna
You
explore
got
it.
the
Believe
money,
that.
and your people paying it, and they paying their light bill and all that, then you good. But most of y'all ain't got that situation, so your
Okay.
lavish life don't make sense to me. But hey, do what you do.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna be exploring that after
Do what
the
you do.
election. After
Yeah.
the election, when there's hardly any candidates that we have to bring on, we're going to be talking about the hard issues. That's what the Watchdog was created for. It's an offshoot of our vulnerable communities, and we want to talk about everything that makes our communities vulnerable, and we want to do the investigative type, have those type of discussions on this platform. We got about 8 minutes left with you, Sabrina, but we like I said, we want to make sure that all the candidates that talk like you, all the candidates that want to fight for the people, we want to make sure that y'all know that we have a platform for y'all to come and be recognized on. Y'all can. We need y'all to come out every day, every week to show your faces. We know that a lot of people like you probably do a lot of things in the community and not want people to know. But you have to let people know. People out of sight is out of mind.
That's true.
And we need people to see the work that you do in the community. We need people to understand that you are for the people, and the only way to do that is to be a part of something that is being built to give this information to them.
Okay.
Okay, so
I got you.
don't shy away from coming on and talking, because that's what it's going to be all about. Those are not churches, they are businesses known as Hallelujah Incorporated.
Right on, Miss Coyne.
Establishing a church is the easiest thing to do, so so Van can be in charge. It used to be opening a club and a liquor store. You're right, Melinda. It used to be opening a church so easy.
She went there now.
McGruff, Watchdog takes a bite out of issues. That's right, Ivan. We're going to be taking a bite out of the issues. People must know your civic involvement. That's correct. Sabrina, tell us where people can help you volunteer, come out and help you on your campaign, where they can donate. Tell us these things so that people can know how to help you out.
Okay. We on the 16th, let me see, on the 15th, 16th, 22nd, 23rd, 29th, and the 30th, we're going to start going out on the corners, holding up our signs, letting people know that we're here, that it's time to vote. On the, what else we have? I've got a website that's now SabrinaKentCares.com. You can go out there and make donations there, or you can go to my Cash App at Sabrina $2021 campaign and make a contribution if you like.
Okay, so they can go to your website and get all that information, right?
I will. I'll send it to you. I'll do that.
They can go to your website and get all that information.
Yeah, they can go to my website and get all that information as well. Everything is on my website, SabrinaKentCares.com.
All right.
And I must say, I think you will be the only one that will have a website, which blew my mind too. But we won't go back to that.
I've got some pretty good soldiers that's fighting for me, so that's a good thing.
Okay, but the thing is, I just find it in 2021, how you gonna run for office and not have the basic foundational tools? But it's like building a house with no nails. How do you do it?
I don't know. Your house gonna fall down.
Ivan Cohen said you fudged on his gender on Candidly Keisha when you was on Candidly Keisha.
I did.
You must be called him Miss Cohen or something.
I did. I'm sorry, Mr. Cohen.
You better take him out to lunch. Better get him in lunch. The way to a man's heart is via food. You better go get that constituent.
However, take him to lunch right now. That'll work.
So give us 3 minutes of your closing, and then me and Robert will close out.
All right. Well, thank you guys for having me on your show today. It's been wonderful. It's been enjoyable. It's been laughter. And I've gotten somewhat emotional at times, but I just want people to know that I am truly passionate about the people in our community in Chatham County, in the 165th, as well as all of Chatham County. My love for people is the same love that I have for my family. I love my family dearly. They know who I am, where I go. The people that I work with daily at ILE will tell you who I am. The people in my community that I lived in for the past 36 years will tell you about Miss Kent. I have a great love for people, a passion for people. Running in this seat means that I'm going to be your best fighter, your continued fighter. So when I move, you move. When I go to the state, you go to the state. This is not a one-time hit. I am not going to be your longtime politician, your career politician. I'm there to make some things happen, get them on the right track, get us all on the right track. So the next person coming after, I want young people to be on my committees, young people to be standing with me, fighting with me, being on my campaign trail, being in the office with me. So when it's time for me to take that move out and step out of the way, I want a young person to step into my seat and get it and fight for it and fight for the people that's coming up behind them in the ranks. Again, I am Sabrina E. Green Kent. Election is November the 2nd. I ask for your support. I ask you to come stand with me, hold up some signs on the corner. I ask for you to be there for me on November the 2nd and after November the 2nd. Thank you again for all of you being out there listening and supporting me.
All right, Robert.
All right, I'll end with this. While this is not about the late Mickey Stevens, I knew Mickey and was around him based on our affiliation and membership at St. Benedict the Moore Catholic Church in Savannah on East Broad. And we're both brothers of the Beta Phi Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Fraternity Incorporated. What I will say by being around Mickey is that he had high expectations for 165. He led his area well. And in his replacement, we need to find someone who will understand the details, who understand how to be in touch with the constituents, and understand that every meeting is serious and important, regardless of who you think is there. And so with that, I ask the voters to take note of all things, all shows and all endorsements. Your pictures, your accolades, your first times, your being doing this, your time is this and that, doesn't matter if you can't stand for the people when it matters most.
That's correct. And I'll end with this by saying that this is what we do. We got a little off of what we were going to do. We had the whole program here for the other candidates, but don't think that I was. If you come on here, I'm not. Especially if it's a forum type, it's going to be fair. We want to hear what everybody has to say. But if you don't think that you need to come here and say it, then by all means, stay where you're at. But we will always give it to you uncut and raw. That's what we do here. So in the coming weeks, we will be exploring everything. We will be having a call to arms, so to say, with everybody to come out so we can start organizing for the upcoming elections with the school board and with the city elections in 24 months or 26 months or something. So we 25 months. So we hope that y'all watch. We want y'all to share it with everybody. Watch all the programs. You got Dr. Smalls tonight at 6 p.m. We have our reruns of some of our shows from last night because we got 4 or 5 shows on every Friday. So they're all rerunning today also. You can catch this show again in a few, probably tomorrow. You catch this show tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. I'll reschedule it for again tomorrow. So with that being said, we appreciate you coming out, Ms. Kent. And we thank you for putting yourself up for service. And
Yes.
you have our support.
Thank you.
Right.
Because you showed up.
Thank you very much.
That matters.
Thank you.
All right. All right.
All right. Well, next Saturday, same time, same place.
Look at it. You got home just in time.
Just in time. How did you know that? That was perfect. Yeah, right in the driveway.
Safely.
All right.
All right. Y'all be good now.
All right,
bye-bye.
Bye.